Hey guys, before we start the video, we'd just like to say that we're having a huge giveaway. 1 Phoenix down, 5,000 silver, and a free unrolled account in Rogue Lineage. Once we hit 5,000 subscribers, please hit that sub button if you guys want to see that giveaway. Let's get into the video. Yo, what is good, y'all? Agamatsu here, and today we're going to be talking about how to save Rogue Lineage. How to stop Rogue Lineage from dying, basically. So everybody can basically agree that Rogue Lineage is quote-unquote dying. I would personally like to actually debate that it's not dying, but that could be another time for another video. For those who think it's dying, I'm going to be talking about how we could possibly save Rogue Lineage from fully going extinct, hitting 0 players or like 10 players, or like what Tales from the Valley is now, dead. So first, let's start on the main issues. Alright, first off, infinite combos. Okay, everybody knows infinite combos is bad. All we gotta do is just, or all the devs gotta do is just rescript the game. Okay, that one's pretty easy. Rescript the game to make it so that combos are universal. So like 1-2 for your dagger, and if you do 3-4 with your fist, it does the 3rd and 4th hit of your fist move. So that way it doesn't make it infinite. Okay, that one's easy. Now we're gonna touch on the meta, which is like Shinobi, D-Slayer. I see a lot of people complain about Shinobi and D-Slayer. These two classes especially, because well, they make up a large part of Gaia. And the reason is because I think their resurrection is pretty much the main reason, as well as their high mobility, lack of fall damage, just a lot of damage in general. And even though Shinobi did get its backstab damage removed, just the fact that you can punch into, your triple dagger throw, your lethality, shadow rush, grapple, owl slash. There's a lot of things Shinobi can do. And D-Slayer, do I even need to say for D-Slayer? It's just big damage all around. So I think obviously one easy way to fix this would be to put like a limitation on the resurrections. I know a lot of people have said this, like maybe make it to where like it only brings back 100 health like other classes, or give like a drawback when you do resurrect if you're like because you could be, what if there's no cooldown on your resurrections and you're like a construct, you can resurrect twice. I see a lot of people complaining about that as well. So yeah, those are just a couple suggestions. Just limit the resurrection abilities, and I think for the most part everything should be alright. Yeah, I know D-Slayer and Shinobi will do a lot of damage, but that, I think for the most part, you just have to get rid of their reses, or like limit their reses, and it's not that big of an issue anymore. Like for example, imagine if Deep Knight had like a deep res and D-Slayer didn't have a resurrection. I think a lot more people would be complaining about Deep Knight, and then maybe add like a mobility move to Deep Knight that lets him not take fall damage. I think a lot more people would be complaining about Deep Knight than D-Slayer because res and mobility move. Next is like flood houses. I see some people talking about this. I'm gonna keep it real. When it comes to like community toxicity, I guess you can call it that, or like flood houses, or oh my goodness, they're blah blah blah, ultra's killing me, like 50 ubers on me, there's nothing you can do about that, in my opinion. There's actually nothing you can do. Rogue Lineage has evolved to a point to where there isn't really much you can do about how the game is played right now. You're not going to stop somebody from using their faceless punch combo. You're not going to stop somebody from getting the best build. They want to be the best they can be. They want to kill you. They're not going to all of a sudden not join in with like 5 of their friends to kill you. They're not going to stop, killing freshies if they want to kill freshies. You're not going to change that. So like trying to add or change the game in order to like bend it in the way or in the favor of the people who are getting ganked, I don't think you should do that. I don't really think there is anything you can do, because then you're kind of restricting the freedom that Rogue Lineage first had in the first place. Some people may be saying that this kills the game, but I think the game was like this already. Like, I guess you could say the game was already toxic from the beginning. It was just meant to be, in my opinion. So I think, if anything, I mean, you could turn it into like just a PvP simulator if you remove like, all this stuff that people complain about when it comes to like flood houses, people killing like supers and freshies. I see a lot of people complaining about that, but for the most part I think that should just stay the same. I mean, it's Rogue Lineage after all. I think exploiting, I think if you definitely try and maybe patch that up a little bit. Some of these recent exploits have been just crazy. Like I've been killed like 3 times so far in the past like 2 days just by like a freshie with a sword just like on me, like I can't escape. That exploit is that's crazy that can exist. But yeah, just put a little patch on that, maybe like try and keep him at bay for a little bit, and that should fix exploit for the most part. Oh, and I think the biggest thing is transparency and listening to the community. I think this is the biggest thing this is actually the thing that will save Rogue Lineage, and that's being transparent and listening to the community. right now there's not a lot of like conversation. There's not a lot of talking between the devs and the rest of the community, even the mods. Like people tell me like I can't just talk to Archmage like that. Like I don't talk to him like that. I'm like, really? They have a mod chat, but you know, getting in contact with him and talking to him, like actually talking to him, probably is difficult. And there's a big lack of communication when it comes to the community and Archmage or the developers. Right, I would say Raguzer, but like he's on Deepwoken, you know what I mean? I think the game could be like brought back to life once he's done with Deepwoken, and then once he starts making those changes, I think everybody's gonna enjoy Rogue Lineage again, like a lot more. But when it comes to like the current developers and what they're doing right now, there's really have been no like side updates or big updates really, like in the past like month or two, I believe. I don't know, there might have been some small things, but like for example, like a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure Aptorian was adding in Uber Druid, Blacksmith. He was adding in things to like, you know, keep the game fresh, you know what I mean? New things for people to complain about, I guess, but it kept the game a little bit fresh, I know. Even though it was a little bit busted, it did keep it a little bit fresh. However, now it's like we're kind of at a dead state, and there's a lot of people that are trying to like get issues fixed, and there's nothing really being done about it, and that's why a lot of people just generally don't enjoy the game. Pretty much all the main reasons I listed here. But if we were just able to have like an open discussion or like understand why changes were being made. A lot of people say that they're actually like doing shadow updates, like they're not announcing them. Why would you do that? I don't know. Maybe there's some like secret purpose to shadow update, but I don't understand. Especially if it's like a balance change, wouldn't you want to announce the balance change instead of having people constantly complain about it? I don't know how true it is that they're shadow updating it, but if they are, then they should definitely be a lot more transparent. But yeah, if they can just like if the developers can just give their thoughts, that'll fix the game in my opinion, and hopefully they make some changes one day. Anyway guys, I'll stop talking, I'm ranting for too long. We're having a huge giveaway at 5,000 subs, just letting you guys know. And yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Peace.